Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey there. Welcome to April 19. I'm staring out the window and trying to imagine spring because, it's pretty hard to see it. It's bizarre. Anyway, hello there. Program. Is Susan in the wings?
I am. Are you having the snowballs falling out of the sky that we had yesterday?
Yeah. We had some snow this morning. Now we've got a little respite. It's cold as hell. Yeah. Ridiculous. Apparently
it snowed all day yesterday here.
Yeah.
All day.
Parts of Pennsylvania had 8 inches yesterday. And they said that, granted, we're supposedly a month into spring, and a meteorologist says an 8-inch snowfall is odd. It really is odd. Oh well. You know what's going to happen? We're not going to get a spring.
Yeah, a woman weathercaster in Minneapolis was heard to pronounce this coldly normal.
Coldly normal. I don't know. We're just going to go from cold to hot. That's
no spring this year. Now, we were laughing because, Mother is beginning to despair that she'll ever swim outside again.
I bet.
As she was sitting there, mournfully looking out the window yesterday, checking every 5 minutes to see if those snowballs were still falling out of the sky, and the phone rang, and it was the pool people telling her when they were going to open her pool, which was in 2 weeks.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, that had to have.
I said, you see, Mom, I mean, the fact of the matter is it's going to be 60 Saturday, so.
Yeah, the calendar's on our side, but I've been saying that for weeks.
Well,
anyway.
I mean, the calendar being on our side should have meant that it was spring a month ago.
Yeah. Well, who cares? I mean, it was for a while.
Yeah, it was nice for a couple of days.
We got a lot of flowers here, and the trees really starting up, and so it's not as if it's not. We can see it's coming, but my God!
Yeah, see, there's none of that here, as you know.
No, I was shocked when I was in Green Bay that there was not even a hint of spring.
Well, there's a few of the very earliest of the spring stuff beginning to poke through, but
there was no, I saw nothing. Yes, you saw. It was really, easily a month behind us. Wow. So we shouldn't complain, I guess. No, but we will.
No, I'm complaining.
Okay, you complain. We'll complain. So I guess masks are done. Susan,
yeah,
I'm glad I got out of Green Bay with all those flights I had to take and sitting in the airport, and everyone had to be masked, and that gave me a measure of.
I know. I just booked my first flight since I fled California 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
And what's the next thing that happens? They get rid of masks. I'm going, I don't want to go. Well, I'm wearing mine. And it's not to be polite. It's to protect my own self.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting something from a listener.
They can't hear us.
Tell me no. Unfortunately, they say we hear you twice and talking over each other. Something is very wrong. I don't know why I'm laughing. Is anybody else getting that? Just to make sure that it's not just this one caller.
Why don't I hang up and I'll call back in?
All right, go ahead. But something tells me that's not the issue. But go ahead. So I'm saying that for Kevin's benefit, if he can see, and anybody else out there, let me know if you're hearing me and Susan without difficulty. It just drives me insane. Barbara says she has no problem. Well, that's good news, Barbara. Thank you. I need a few more no problems, and then we'll just proceed, and Susan will be back. And
I'm back.
Okay, Susan, I'm getting people saying they're hearing us fine. So, Terry, I don't know what the hell's wrong with your. So it's you, not us. For a change. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks. Everybody's saying we're fine. Okay.
Okay. Well, never mind. It gave me something to do.
Thank you all. Jeez. A little derailed there, Terry. So anyway, that it's unsettling. I know the Pittsburgh bus system has said no one's got to wear masks on the buses anymore. And, it strikes me that the people who ride the buses are people who have access to no other transportation, and they are disproportionately not wealthy and from the kinds of communities that are hit hardest, and a lot of elderly people. And I'm just thinking it's just not smart. But I'm hoping that most people will do the right thing. And when you're on a bus, when you're on a train, on a plane, mask. Geez, it's just my.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what I've seen around here is it's just me and a couple of other old fogies that are still masked.
That's right.
And because we're largely invisible anyway, no one even notices.
They don't even look at you like you're pathetic.
No, because we're old, so they stopped looking at us anyway.
Okay. So I just want to point out, though, that the judge who
was a Trump appointee.
Was not only a Trump appointee, it's when she was appointed. This totally unqualified woman was appointed after Trump had lost the election, the re-election. Now stop and think about that. Mitch McConnell and the Republican Senate, which was about to be taken over by the Democrats, in the last moments pushed through, not just her, a number of life-tenured federal judges. This, when they told Barack Obama they refused to act on his nomination to the Supreme Court of Merrick Garland, 11 months left in his tenure. They are without shame. This judge, by the way, was said to be totally not qualified by the American Bar Association. She was 33 years old when appointed, had never tried a case, civil or criminal. And she will be on the federal judiciary until her dying day. So she's 32. I'm 35 now. Unqualified and with extraordinary power. It's
terrible, but it will be countered with the fact that the judge that just gave us the decision that said that, oh no, the case against Marjorie Taylor Greene can go forward is a Barack Obama appointed judge. And the problem with this line of reasoning is that it further politicizes all decisions So that even if the second judge is correct, it's still seen through a political lens.
Right. They have managed to totally create. Nobody trusts the judiciary anymore. I mean, all institutions now are suspect, which is what you do when you want to destroy democracy.
When you want to overthrow a government, yes.
That's right. That's what you do. And man, they're going. So I came upon something last night. I didn't sleep because of it. Oh, maybe, who knows? Maybe you didn't sleep because you haven't slept in 3 weeks. But anyway. Yeah, but who knows? But I didn't sleep. I told myself, I could tell my heart was pounding as I thought, stop reading this. This just is, I'm sure, just a little snapshot, but I'm sure this is happening in other places. It was in the Washington Post, and it concerns an area in Texas, Llano County, Llano. And it's, I guess, about, 30 miles, 40 miles north of Austin, if that places it for you. There has been a takeover of the library, the public library. And it has taken such form that it is chilling, with people actually, librarians fired, women who are self-appointed, going in, good Christian women, going in and removing books that they deem to be somehow not proper. The commissioners of, this county voted to dissolve the library board and then created a different board made up almost totally of conservative Christian Republicans, of course. One guy, a retired doctor, was denied a seat. He petitioned to be seated. He has a master's degree in library science and manages a rare books collection at the University of Texas Medical Branch. He was deemed unqualified. Their top priorities were cleansing the library. And when they held their first meeting, one of the women, the woman who's like really in charge, who homeschools her children, said after the meeting, there were 3 or 4 patrons that were present taking notes. That surprised us. So she wrote the commissioners, would you be able to persuade Judge Cunningham to keep our meetings closed? And lo and behold, the meetings are now closed.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, that's a democracy for you.
Yeah. Do you want, is
the
not
public library? Let's discuss the definition of a public library. It's not the Christian public library. It's the public library. It's not the Republican Christian library. It's the public library. That's my problem with all these people at the public schools determining that suddenly, because they don't want their child to hear something, nobody gets to hear it. This is, homeschool your kids. That's the answer. You just homeschool your kids, but you leave the rest of us alone. So you have your own little library. It'll hold 3 books. You can keep it right at your house, and you leave everybody else's books alone.
The fact is, Susan, that this is spreading. This is spreading all over the place.
I know it is.
It says here that this newly reconstituted board often stop to pray over questions that arise in meetings. And until the Lord answers them, they can't resolve them, according to one county official who spoke on condition of anonymity because they feared repercussions. The head librarian was fired. I cannot even be...
Well, it's like what's happening at Madison's, at Montpelier. You know, they fired all the people that have been running it, for the head of the board, because they don't really want to give the descendants any voice.
Wait. Say what you're...
Okay, so Montpelier,
Madison,
yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Montpelier has been held forth for like the last several years as a beacon of the way to teach appropriate history about our founding fathers, about plantations, about slaveholders, and they have a very large formal descendants group of slaves that have a committee and that was entitled to several people on the board, and that together they would decide, you know, things like how the history is told. Well, the new head of the board, a white man, has decided that he doesn't agree, is basically what's happening. He doesn't agree with anything that the committee has to say, and having them have all of these people on the board makes it difficult to get his way, so he's thrown them off. And when it was protested by the people who have award-winningly run the place for the last 10 years, they were all fired too.
They were all fired. Okay.
So just in case you want to say, we are marching backwards. We are running backwards.
Just one more on this particular horror. One recent spring day, an overflow crowd packed the Llano County Commissioners meeting as the panel debated the new Library Advisory Board's bylaws. And then they start quoting people who spoke. They said that they were saving the children from pornography and from pedophiles. The crowd often broke into enthusiastic applause and shouts of amen. One man kept screaming, "I'd like to speak in the name of Jesus." And the commissioners throughout deferred to this woman, the home schooler, who showed up with a giant binder full of illustrations from offending books. And the people who've lost this fight are now talking to ACLU attorneys. This is frightening. No more whistling past the graveyard here. There is a concerted grassroots effort now, and well-funded from big money sources, to destroy our democracy. It's as simple as that, and that's not overstating the case. Here's something else I just came upon, and you can't make it up. The governor of Mississippi proclaimed this month Confederate Heritage Month. Now, I sort of thought that kind of stuff was going by the board.
Yeah, Confederate Heritage Month? Oh, yeah.
Yes, so we could think,
it's right after Let's Celebrate the Nazis weekend.
Well, get this. He also, later, proclaimed it, there's so many months. Months have to be more than 1 month. So it turns out April in Mississippi is not just Confederate Heritage Month. The governor, same governor, also proclaimed it Genocide Awareness Month.
Did you see that the state of Michigan, in its attempt to wish folks of the Jewish religion a happy Passover, took a stock happy Passover greeting with 2 pieces of matzah on the front of it and replaced them with bread?
Well, why would they have replaced it? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, it's steadfastly, deliberately, brazenly ignorant. Why should let them eat bread? Somebody said a cracker. Let them eat bread.
Well, it reminded me of, and I don't know if you remember this, of a Passover Seder we had in Green Bay many, 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 many years ago. And one of the guests that was invited was my mom's best friend, who was born a Jew but was not a practicing Jew, Marcia Deutsch. And Marcia arrived, as a good guest does, bearing a gift.
What a great big cake.
That was a loaf of bread. And I remember Mother's shriek, "Marcia!"
I think that's very funny. I mean, somewhere in her head, she knew it was wrong, and she was so horrified that she wasn't going to be allowed to eat bread that the stick just came out.
Well, I don't know. Who the hell knows? But I mean, this conflation of genocide awareness and
Confederacy,
when slavery was a genocide, when what happened in this country with the Native Americans was a genocide, and this total lack of comprehension and awareness. And the governor, a few people started squawking about it, and he pushed back and said, all 5 governors before me have proclaimed this Heritage Month. And one of the governors, was the governor in 1980 something, 88 to 92, he tweeted, "I absolutely did not issue anything like this." Of course, this guy's a Democrat. It started with Governor Fortas, an overt white supremacist. Then he went on to say, "The only heritages of the Confederacy, as far as I can tell, are slavery and treason."
That's right.
And that's former Governor Ray Mabus, governor of Mississippi, way back in the late 80s. And it just shows you, again, what direction we are going. God. Okay. So.
It really is. It's like, the final, oh my God, white men standing up and going, they are replacing us, and this is their final push. I think we just got to march right back over them.
We have a caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Roger from Bellevue.
Good morning, Roger.
What's interesting is we had a holiday dinner with some friends over in Highland Park this weekend, and these people are super intelligent, way smarter than me. And one of the things our host, she told us was she had to tell her relatives who are normally at this wedding who are super conservative, is like, I'm going to tell you something. You are going to be in the minority here, so please don't even go into politics or religion. You can talk about anything else, but don't go there, because I don't want any ugliness, which has happened before. Well, guess what? None of them showed up. And
all for the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. But the sad part is these people that she had to tell this to are not dummies. They're surgeons. They're Ivy School educated. They are successful lawyers, entrepreneurs. I mean, we're not talking about like, a bunch of redneck hicks.
No. But you're talking about Republicans.
Are you talking about white people? Is what
white
we're talking about.
Well, Republicans are white. That goes without saying.
Well, but can I just say that in my own immediate family, there was just the same situation in reverse, where a bunch of people who held differing, more democratic views did not attend a family function because it was in the middle of a pandemic, and they were quite sure that it wouldn't be a safe place to go. So we didn't go.
Yeah, and that's just being on the common sense side, that's not even on the.
But it looks the same and it feels the same.
Yeah, but what was interesting was a couple of days before this dinner, a good friend of mine, her boss, who she likes a lot, and he's a nice guy. I've met him before, but he's bought into all this nonsense too. And they were talking. I don't know what the topic was specifically, but he just says, "Well, the problem is democracy." And she's like, "You let that slip, you know that, Bill." And there was silence. So what I think what we're witnessing is, it's just step by step by step. These people are going to fascism. They're just not using the word, but pretty soon, I think
they'll be more comfortable.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the type of stuff that Trump unleashed. As far as not that these feelings didn't exist before, but now people are okay saying it out loud and putting bumper stickers on their car.
Okay,
and,
well, all right. Go away.
Yeah.
I'm getting so depressed I can't see.
Well, don't you think
I started it?
Don't you think we're living the live version of Fahrenheit 451 now with the libraries and everything?
Go away. Soylent Green is right around the corner.
She's already not slept for 3 nights.
Hey,
Goodbye.
You know what? Just eat lots of shitty food and you'll take
Yeah. I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes again too. Goodbye.
Bye.
God, dang it. All right.
Yes, it's scary.
Here, Susan, you mentioned something about white men a moment ago. I, on Twitter, maybe this weekend, came upon a video that I thought was like someone had, on our side, had done to make fun of Tucker Carlson.
Oh no. Can you even believe it?
Whoa.
Laser your balls.
You cannot even.
Go ahead, do it. I hope they do it.
I do not even. You got to look it up. I looked at it and I thought, I thought it was like homoerotic. It was incomprehensible. It was a bunch of different video. It started with, was that supposed to be Tucker Carlson standing with his testicles atop a phallus of some sort that was emitting,
That was lasering his testicles.
Lasering his testicles.
Go ahead.
And he was standing there. Yeah. And then it went into shots. Like,
I meant, and I did that mean that with you.
No. There were shots of like a hand grabbing a cow's udder What the hell was that?
Well,
that
and as Colbert said, if you're milking a cow, you need a pail. If you aren't milking a cow, that's just cow fondling.
Well, I think it was a stand-in for a woman's breast. I don't know why would there be a cow udder after we're seeing a man with his testicles atop this, and then all these incomprehensible shots. It was, yeah. And it turns out Tucker Carlson put this out. I can't even. I don't know.
Let's hope all the surviving Republican men that haven't died from COVID will now go and irradiate their balls and sterilize themselves.
Cancer.
They'll either die from testicular cancer, or maybe they'll sterilize themselves if we're lucky. Okay. And,
So it turns out Tucker Carlson,
the Lord works in mysterious ways,
has decided that, it is true, testosterone levels around the world have gone down. And Tucker Carlson says he doesn't mention the world. He says among American men, testosterone levels have gone down.
And it couldn't have anything to do with all the hormones in the food that they're eating or the environment or anything like that. It's women.
No.
It's women scaring the testosterone out of men.
So I don't know. According to a piece in the Washington Post today, that is Tucker Carlson standing naked and spread-eagled on top of a large rock, gazing heavenward as a red laser illuminates his genitalia.
Yuck.
I wanna puke.
Right. Just yuck. I won't be looking.
Not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. And then he has people on his show, experts, telling American men that they need to do what Tucker is doing and expose their testicles to red light therapy to make them have more testosterone. So I guess this is now.
So they can become more vicious and violent.
That's right. Yeah, they're not aggressive enough. So if you say something about testicle tanning, that's what this is. So he's actually hawking a genital light.
Maybe they'll just all get melanomas.
Well, it can't be good.
Snake oil, just snake oil. It's amazing.
And then what they point out about, they point out that that these images in it after him and his testicles being zapped, that some of the images are of several very fit white men's bodies. And the first black body that gets an appearance is obese. And then an image that shows black people in some kind of a riot is used to convey, the narration talks about weak America. This is some crazy, a shirtless man throwing a javelin that turns into a flaming rocket. I mean, the phallic men wrestling, swinging an axe, standing naked in front of red lights. This, guys, no, I don't.
Summoning up issues of prostitutes?
No,
what?
No, I hope you're laughing out of discomfort and fear. This is more frightening stuff to me. This is insanity. And this is the kind of almost pornographic propaganda that the Nazis employed.
Yeah.
It's more of the same. You know who one of their experts is? Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
God, what happened to that guy?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. His wife needs to stop apologizing for him and just divorce him already. He's nuts.
I would think. So, anyway, apparently if you increase...
And by the way, why is one of his top experts on this a guy that doesn't have any medical training whatsoever?
Well, because that's what they do. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. doesn't have any medical training.
That's what I mean.
Well, and the other guy doesn't as well. He's a fitness a guy named Andrew McGovern. This is another go-to guy for him. And, well, all I can say is I find all of this nothing funny, nothing, that's why I can't even watch like Colbert and any of that anymore, because I can't laugh.
Well,
like whistling past the great.
Yeah, it's you. If it helps you maintain your ability to keep fighting it, then laugh away. Laughter is one of the ways that it helps us get to where we need to be going. Don't demonize that.
Well, I haven't slept and I'm not laughing.
I'm sorry.
I mean, normally I agree with you on that.
I'm looking. Yesterday I would have agreed with you when the snowballs were falling out of this relentlessly gray sky. But today, not even metaphorically, the skies are blue. It looks a little more spring-like, and here I am feeling more hopeful than you. These things
because you got. Yes, it's true. I'm looking at snow flurries right now.
See?
That's not what's doing it. I just, it's just, we are so fucked. I'm sorry, guys. I mean.
Well, we are. We're facing a slow devolution of our country, and the only thing
not
that's
even
good
slow.
We've got to get to work. No, I just keep thinking of LaMega Bawe. What would she say? Sit down and despair? She'd say use your anger.
Yeah, you gotta. But I'm saying I don't feel that with people. I feel despair. I don't know. So, Susan, here's something that has nothing to do with anything important, although it's also disgusting. Susan loves all those shows on, what's that network, HGTV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because they're just, for me living alone, I just like background noise. I'm not necessarily watching them. The only reason to watch a show is the first 2 seconds and the last 5.
Yeah. But I don't know if this was an HGTV show. I don't even think it's on anymore. But the show Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Oh, yeah. It caused tax problems for everybody.
Oh my God! With the guy named Ty Pennington.
Uh-huh.
So
he's still around. He's still on shows all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. So they somebody asked people who had been involved with the show. It happened on Reddit. There's somebody who got a free house or a community volunteer who had helped build it. What these people would do is they'd find a worthy, somebody down on their luck in some way, and they'd build them a house.
Gift them a very expensive house, which, I mean, among other things, has tax consequences.
In 1 week.
Right, and which is pretty much impossible, right.
Well, but they did.
Well, they sent them to Disneyland or something.
Yeah, they would send the people off to Disney World for an incredible vacation while their new house is being built by volunteers, and then they bring them back and show them their new house, and there's tears and astonishment. Well, speaking of the Disney World part, Susan, one guy told his employer, "Hey, I have to go to Disney World for a week." And his employer said, "Well, I can't let you do that. I need you here." And so he then went to Extreme Makeover producers and said, "Hey, my boss won't let me go." And they said, "You got to go." Part of the show.
So he lost his job?
He went to Disney World and lost his job.
Okay.
And then when they came back, as Susan has suggested, the house that was created for them was so beyond their means. And of course, with all the improvements, and by the way, a not particularly great neighborhood, the taxes went sky high, and person after person ends up selling stuff from the house. They strip televisions off the walls and sell them so they can actually maybe stay in the house. One house built in a not good neighborhood was literally ransacked within 2 weeks. And none of that ever got reported. So the producers of this show never looked back. There was nothing anybody could do.
Well, that show came back in several iterations, and after a few seasons, they did start awarding some mortgage company would give them money that they thought they were getting money. Now that money might have paid some of the taxes. Because that's income. So if what you had was a $200,000 house, and when you come back with all the crap in it, it's a $600,000 house, you have to report $400,000 worth of income and pay the taxes on it.
Well, I always think that when people win a lot of money on game shows and they're so happy, I'm thinking, you're not getting any.
Money's no problem. Money's no problem. You just take a third of it and you pay it.
Yeah, but you're not. But the government gets it. So I mean, people. I wonder.
It's when you get merchandise and vacations and all this sort of stuff. You got to pay taxes on that.
Right. Here's somebody who was an intern for them. They said, we were putting out toys for the kids, and someone mentioned that at the last house they did, everything like what we were putting out was stolen almost immediately. Wait a minute. And then they also say there was this house, one of the houses, the people were given a brand new car. They built a home gym for the oldest son that was full of weights. The local grocery store gave them a year's supply of groceries. Within a year, the car they had been given had been sold and replaced with 2 cars, one of which barely ran and the other was on cinder blocks. The gym equipment had all been sold, and the mom had been arrested for stealing from Walmart. So, somebody else said, who was a contractor, that when they asked people to do, when local contractors came in, they had to furnish all the labor and materials at no cost to the family or the production company. So the production company didn't pay.
No, this is a brilliant idea. No, you get everybody to donate everything.
Oh, brilliant. If you're, it's brilliant, like out of the mind of Donald Trump.
Right.
And here's somebody who worked for a company, a large corporation, and they say that the corporation forced us to volunteer for the show. It was mandatory that we show up and do manual labor, unpaid. So, but we would be wearing T-shirts with our corporation's name on it, so our employer would look good.
Sure.
And the penalty
for advertising.
The penalty for not showing up as a volunteer was a markdown on your yearly review. So this was totally forced volunteering. And wow. And if the filming interfered with your regular work schedule, you had to use vacation time.
Okay, well, that's just awful corporations.
No, well, this is...
You can't blame the television.
No, but I'm blaming the production company because it's part of awful America.
Well, these stories go on and on. I mean, there's one of the ones that I do watch, Love It or List It, is infamous. I think probably had to stop production for a while because they would get furniture from local furniture places knowing that they had run out of money and they were just staging the house, and then they'd return everything. Yeah. That's not what the viewer is led to believe, and I've long had thought there is just no way this is happening on this budget. There is just no way. I've been there. I've done this. I know what furniture costs. This isn't happening.
Yeah, right. So and also somebody, one person said that a lot of the stuff was just literally, I mean, like, things didn't work. I mean, they were just sort of slapped up there, or the paint didn't go all the way up to the top, just enough so that the
picture looked good. Yeah.
Right.
Right. There's another one. There was another one based in Chicago where what we were actually watching for 2 seasons was the star's contractor steal from her, and they managed to make a series out of, then the 4th series was figuring out that he had stolen from her.
Oh.
I mean, whatever it is, they'll use it. And it's rarely pretty. So, just don't ask for a home makeover unless it's, some star showing up with too much money in the Property Brothers. I might take that.
Yeah. So wow. I didn't know I was going to be in such a terrible mood.
You are not in a good mood, dear sister. I wish there was something I could say to cheer you up.
Well, there's nothing. Nothing. Let's talk about, here's another creep. And this gets no attention at all. Shut up. Jared Kushner.
Oh, God.
Openly.
He of the $2 billion, but what about Hunter Biden? Yeah, okay.
Yes, openly taking. I mean, right in front of everybody's face, a $2 billion payoff.
That was advised against. This guy doesn't know. Yeah.
Regime. And nobody, how is this legal?
It's not.
He's a government. He was a chief aide to a president, and immediately after that guy's out of the White House, this guy cashes in with a foreign nation within months of leaving his government position. How is that not illegal?
Over the published objections of said foreign states' advisors, saying the guy doesn't know what he's doing, and for whatever reason you're doing it, couldn't we do it for like $1 billion?
No, it's a total payoff.
Yeah, a total negotiated payoff while he was still in office, by the way.
But Hunter Biden. How is that? If that is not against the law? I mean, there's so much that is so clearly unethical and should be criminal if it's not. And there's no way, media just doesn't want to even keep up with it. Has anyone heard anything more about the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and his lovely wife?
No, that just fell away. That just disappeared.
Well, Kushner disappeared too within 24 hours. The Thomases disappeared. They had a little longer shelf life, maybe 2-3 days. This stuff just drops out of view. And they're fucked. This is an America that is corrupted. This is an America that has a non-functional government. This is an America in which a frightening percentage of the population does not believe in the reality of democracy. I keep remembering what Franklin said, the woman, when he walked out of Constitution Hall. What form of government have you given us, Mr. Franklin?
A republic, if they can keep it.
If you
can keep it.
Well, we can't. We are showing that we can't. There should be congressional hearings on this, but how much and the fact is the voters are about to turn the Democrats out of power in all likelihood in the Congress. And so the only congressional hearings will be about Hunter Biden. If Democrats lose the upcoming election, this country's finished. You disagree?
No.
Thank you.
No.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh, geez.
Bad question.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing great. How you doing?
Hey, I wanted to say, I'm all for the United States doing what they're doing in Ukraine, but don't you think all we're doing is prolonging something that's going to happen anyway, where Russia's going to beat Ukraine?
We don't know.
We don't know. Russia hasn't pulled out their big guns yet. Russia, there's a lot of things they can do. I mean, it's going to knock them out. I just think it's going to happen. I don't know the answer.
How can you think that when you see? How can you think that when you see how totally inept their?
I don't think you can underestimate people fighting for right over people fighting for what they know to be is wrong. It's how they've been there before. I'm not willing to give up on Ukraine, and I'm not. And if they do win, we're really in trouble because it's just the first step to the next step.
I think they haven't used the big guns yet. I really don't.
Well, when you talk about big guns,
what do you mean, nuclear war?
Tactical
no,
nuclear.
I just think they could be doing more bombing and things that they're going to start doing now, and it's going to be a big campaign of just like, now they're going to use a 2-ton, I forget size of bomb now, and that's going to really do some damage. It's going to ramp up pretty bad and bloody, and it's sad, very sad, but I don't know the answer because we get involved, we might as well kiss our asses goodbye too, because it's not going to end well in that type of situation. I don't know the answer to any of it, really. You
cannot let this pipsqueak son of a bitch.
You can, but I don't know what the answer is. That's what I said. I don't know. There's no good choice.
Well,
none.
We better listen. We better grow some balls before we start.
Or someone in Russia needs to take them out. I mean, that's generally how we get out of these situations.
That's the best thing of all.
That's not going to happen.
Best choice, but the other choices are not good.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Happy. Was that what you
good. That was useful.
Bye.
Yeah, that's okay. I had something else, but I forgot what I was going to say. So.
Well, good. Okay. It was probably God knows what. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Jeez.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, the first case of avian flu has shown up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so now, on top of everything else, poultry and eggs will be three times their cost.
Which is why Americans are going to, in their unbelievable
knee-jerk stupidity, they're going to blame Biden for it.
Of course.
Yep.
And for the price of an egg, democracy will be destroyed. Hey, let's look at some of these friggin' corporations that still have not divested a damn thing from Russia.
Yeah.
There's 162 companies that have not announced any voluntary changes to either their operations in or their investments in Russia. And the one is the underwriter of the Republican Party, Koch Industries.
Yes. Oh, Koch. Oh, yes, and he has very reasonably explained why it would do more harm than good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So listen, this is Koch. Now, let me tell you some of the things they produce that you might buy. And stop buying it, okay? Immediately. You are no longer buying brawny paper towels. You're no longer buying quilted Northern or Angel Soft toilet paper. I wish I knew more of what their products are.
Those aren't my brands so far. This doesn't hurt at all. Okay.
But you know what? That's what are Americans willing to give up their triple ply, God knows what, that they wipe their fucking asses with. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I am just. Oh. Who else?
I would just say, sister, in your case, that's rather an elitist view, poo-pooing other people's taste in toilet paper.
Did you mean to say poo-poo?
Yes.
No, I don't think you did. It was an inadvertent pun. That's right. Okay, we got Coke. We have Acer. They make computers. Alibaba, that's the Chinese place. Cloudflare, what's that?
I have no idea.
International Paper.
Uh-oh. Well, if International Paper probably makes everything that Northern, and that's probably the rest of the paper products. So now we are in trouble with our tushes.
And then there's all these corporations that are making it look like they're doing shit, but, publicly announce that they are pausing any new investment in Russia, but are largely continuing to operate as before. And understand that in as much as they continue to do this, they have Ukrainian blood on their hands. And that's Procter & Gamble.
Yep.
That's Siemens.
Uh-oh.
Unilever. What? Cargill. Abbott. Colgate Palmolive. Johnson & Johnson. So all of their products that we buy have Russian children's blood.
No, Ukrainian children's blood on it.
Thank you. Ukrainian children's blood.
I mean, that's one of the problems. They are killing Ukrainians with impunity, and for some reason, it's verboten to drop a bomb over the border in Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, be nice to just send a little drone over and let them have a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I've been watching the clock.
All right. Well, I hope you
I haven't
sleep.
watched the... Yeah, well, I ain't gonna. I'll tell you. And I'm watching this series on Netflix or something that doesn't let me sleep either, called Severance. Have you watched that?
Nope.
It's a dystopian view.
Yeah, should you stop it? I have read a romance novel.
I can't stomach those things.
Well, read a mystery then.
All right, I will. I'll find some happy books.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
right.
for all of us, please. Think of the humanity. Think of
the humanity. I have a new slogan for the show. If misery loves company,
come on in.
Yeah, this is the show for you. Okay? All right, you guys, I'll try. Apparently, maybe there'll be a hint of sun tomorrow if what Susan's got's heading this way.
The sun will come out
tomorrow. Okay, when we start singing,
it's really time to go.
It's time to go.
The skinny lady was singing. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. And goodbye to you all.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.